What should veterans consider when evaluating their mortgage options? This is a big one, so let's get after it. Hey, VA Nation, Jeff Newton here with National VA Loans, powered by Stride Bank. To contact us here at National VA Loans, it's 855-956-4040. Of course, you can always check us out online at nationalvaloans.com and make sure to click the subscribe button somewhere. I don't ever know where it's at, so you can stay up to date with all the current information on VA home loans. Okay, so let's get right into it. What should veterans consider when evaluating their mortgage options? Well, this is kind of an in-depth. I mean, there's a lot to this. There's a lot to unpack. Uh, the first thing everyone's going to say, well, what's the rate? I mean, that's obvious. That's the first question. And what's the payment? Obviously, a big question. That's probably the most important question. But, how much are closing costs? Things like that. So let's kind of unpack that. Uh, I know for me, and for the most, I think most people, I mean, that aren't in that 1% population where money is money and it doesn't matter. And if the payment's $10,000 a month, who cares? I can afford it. If the payment's $100,000 a month, who cares? I can afford it. I don't think a lot of us are in that situation. Don't get me wrong, it'd be really nice one day to be there. But I think as it sits right now, I don't think a lot of us are. Um, God, I would like to be there someday. But anyway, maybe Elon will adopt a few of us and shell out a few shekels to us. But anyhow, so what you have to consider is number one, what is the payment? And that's, I think, where you got to sit down first and really start everything is what is my budget? And what do I have budgeted for for this new home, whether it's something I'm building, something I'm buying, something that's already there. What do I have budgeted for this? Now, when you're doing this budget, you also have to consider property taxes, the state that you're buying in and how much property taxes or how much the taxes are. You have to consider that. It's just one of those things that's a part of it. You have to consider your homeowner's insurance. And that's something that's gone up quite a little bit here. Not in all areas, and I'm not going to say in all areas and not by all providers. Although I do think it's kind of across the board by most providers that insurance has gone up. I know with some of the natural disasters and things like that, we've seen that on the increase over the last 12 to 18 months. And I don't know that it's going to slow down and stop. But those are things you have to consider. Now, on our website, we have a mortgage calculator where you can go in and you can calculate, okay, hey, what are my estimated property taxes? What's estimated insurance? It'll let you calculate all that and kind of build everything out for your mortgage payment. But those are two of the items that you must consider when it comes down to how much can I budget for. So if your budget is $2,500 a month for your home, then you need to take into account the location you're at and the possible age of the home you're looking at buying, and figure in what your taxes and insurance are. Now, a good safe rate on insurance is I used to say is about $1,800 a year premium. I would probably increase that to a $2,400 a year premium. So that'd be about $200 a month. And then taxes, you can probably, depending on where you're at, of course, and of course, you can always call us 855-956-4040. We'll help you figure that out. But depending on where you're at, you can figure between a 1.2 and a 1.4% tax rate. So at a $400,000 house, what is that? $4,400 a year. So you divide that out and you have your monthly amount. So figure between 1.2, 1.4. Some areas are going to be lower. Some are even less than 1%. Some are quite a little bit higher. I know there's certain areas in Texas that we're running 1.8 or 1.9%, but you need to calculate that into your monthly mortgage payment. So the budget's the first place I would begin. After that, I would start thinking about, okay, what does my reserve level look like? Do I have money set aside? Do I have $200 in the bank and think it's a good time to buy a house? Or do I have $10,000 in the bank and I know that I've got a little bit of reserve set there? It's always good to have a little bit of money set aside. You don't want to buy a house and then be broke, because let me assure you of a couple of things whenever you buy a house. The minute you buy that house, you're going to want to furnish that house, especially if you're coming out of an apartment, or if you're coming out of your parents' home, or if you're coming out of the barracks, for God's sake, if you were on base housing, you're going to want to furnish that new house. Now, you're also, if you're like most of us, you're probably not going to want to buy a bunch of cheap stuff, and you're not going to want to buy a bunch of junk off Temu and things like that. You're going to want to buy some nice stuff and nicer furniture so it can last you a little bit longer. That's where you need to figure that budget in. Now, whether or not I know a lot of those companies, we're in the Midwest, and so we see a lot of Nebraska Furniture Mart kind of stuff. And so a lot of times they'll have 0% interest. And look, guys, I am always about, if you can use someone else's money and cost you nothing to use it, use it. Absolutely use it. And it just makes perfect sense to do that. So you need to think about what that monthly payment's going to look like. And usually those 0% interest programs, they're promotional programs. So they may only have 18 months or 24 months. And you want to make sure you get it paid off in that time frame. So let's say it's a 24-month and you spend $5,000. You guys can kind of do the math on that, what you need to pay on a monthly basis. And that needs to be figured into your budget as well. Another thing to consider is when you're coming out of an apartment, or again, not a large home like you're getting ready to purchase, is what your utility costs are going to be. Those are going to be higher than probably what you expect as well. In fact, I got my water bill today. When I first bought my home, and 4 years ago, my water bill ranged around $120 a month. Now my water bill this month was $213 a month. Now that includes water, trash, and sewer. But I know I'm not using any more damn water than I used 4 years ago. So why is it going up? Because it goes up. Everything goes up. The cost goes up. It continues to go up. That's the same way with electricity, same way with your water, your gas, things like that. So you need to estimate what those are. There's a couple good resources you can look at, and Google is our friend. So I would suggest getting online in the area you're in and see what the average home costs are for an electric bill, or for a water bill or gas bill in your area for a home your size. Another good way to figure that out, and I'm not really a promoter of social media, but a good way to figure that out is on Facebook. A lot of times these areas that you're looking at buying in, you might be able to find a neighborhood group and just kind of ask around, what are you looking at electricity bill wise, gas bill, water bill, kind of give you an idea of where your budget's going to be. Those are the first places I would sit down and really, really look to when I'm considering buying a home. Now, I don't want you to feel like you're out on an island all by yourself and all you do is you're sitting there with your volleyball and you're a castaway and you're all alone. Give us a call, 855-956-4040. We can help you with all of this. I mean, we're really good at budgeting. I wish I was as good at budgeting for myself as I was for other people, but we're really good at budgeting, sitting down and really thinking about all those little things that a lot of times you don't think about. And mainly it's because we've done it a lot and we've been involved with a lot of different home purchases and things like that, not only ourselves, but with all the different veterans that we work with all over the country. So give us a call, 855-956-4040. Those are some of the key things to be thinking and considering whenever you're looking at buying a home. Of course, you can always contact us at 855-956-4040. And I would definitely go to youtube.com/National VA Loans. Click our subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all the current information for VA home loans, because it does change, whether it be rates, credit scores, or any of those things. Those things change. Again, guys, if you are a little bit proactive and you like to kind of just get stuff done, check out nationalapplynow.com. It's our simple, secure, fast, and easy application online that you can download to your mobile phone or your tablet. The application will come directly to one of our VA specialists, and they'll be more than happy to answer any of these questions. We're all very well versed when it comes to budgeting, because these are the things that we think about. Yes, interest rate's important. Yes, closing costs are important. All those things are vital and very, very important. But what's most important is your budget, how much you can budget, and making sure that you can afford the home, not only the home and the payment, but the taxes, the insurance, the gas, the electric, the water, and any of that new furnishings you want to have into your new home. So again, nationalapplynow.com or 855-956-4040. And again, hit that subscribe button, guys. Until next time, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for your service to us and our country. Take care of yourselves, and God bless.